off on the trail here, checking things out. I got the Appalachian Ultralight Thru Hiker here. Check it out, it is a light dream. Total pack weight, somewhere around 12 pounds, and that's with a hatchet. Pretty impressive. Check out the scenery here. I'm gonna walk down into the valley. Looks like there's a restroom over there. Not exactly wildernessy yet. We're getting there though. Absolutely beautiful out here. 45 degrees. Look at all those trees. Not a one of them is for me and my hammock. Lots of airplanes today. Lots. Whew. Well, it's been uphill for a good solid 10 minutes, and starting to feel it a little bit. Definitely feel like overdressed. Didn't feel it on the downhill. Wasn't warm. Now, granted, I'm a little out of shape. First hike out in the winter, or after winter. Tend to put on a little holiday fat. Don't really figure out how to burn it off, so just gotta work through, baby. Well, the woods opened up into a prairie. Still got a little uphill to go. It's really slushy. Glad I brought my mucklucks. Good old Vask technical mucklucks. Waterproof, snowproof, pretty much invincible. Snow's a little deep here. Alright. Off to number 12. There's 13. There's 12. Time to go downhill. It looks like it's been a while since someone's been here. Let's take a look. Let's see how long it's been. 2:25. Wow. You know what? That's kindling right there. I'll burn that. Well, I got the pack off. This thing is comfortable. Seriously comfortable, Cody. This is awesome. I got a little snack, a little Theo peanut butter cup. I'll have that in a bit. Dark chocolate. Oh, it's gonna be so good. I think I'm gonna save the other one for a little bit. Have it with some hot chocolate. Chocolate on chocolate. Alright, time to find a place to set up the tarp. I'm gonna shoot for about 15 feet. Fine. Alright, there she is in all her glory. Let's go check it out. So, first of all, we got snakeskins on here. Both sides. I like to snakeskin my tarps. I did something a little different here. Now, I already have this mod on here. I got this shot cord, 3 30-second shot cord running across, and then I actually just have a rope, and usually I just pull that rope straight out, and then I put it over a pole, and that kind of just pulls my tarp out in the far direction. But today, just for fun, wanted to try something different, so I brought my hiking poles, not for hiking, but to expand it upwards without extra stakes. I just wanted to see if it would work, but I used the same mod I had rather than putting new loops on, and it's working pretty well. It's a little tipped, but I mean, it could fix itself. I could roll it one way or the other, probably make it work just fine. Let's roll it down this way a little bit, and yeah, it's fixing itself, but whatever. I have got my Dutchware stingers on here, and it is maxed out. If you take a look at my tree straps, run down, I got my beaner, just a standard old war bonnet Dutch beaner, and then I've got whoopee slings running straight in the war bonnet Blackbird. Now this model doesn't have the zip off bug netting, which is kind of a pain, so I just open it up and double staked it back there. Not a big deal. Here's my Enlightened Equipment 40-degree down quilt. It's going to be 20 tonight, so of course I brought a 40-degree quilt, but inside of that is a 32-degree bag, also down. Packs down nice. I brought a down pillow. I've never slept with a pillow in a hammock before, but this is a trial run, lots of stuff going on. I also took a little hint from Shuggity Shug Shug, and in the foot box of my sleeping bag I've got an REI sit pad, so we'll see how that works. Underneath is the War Bonnet Wookiee Zero underquilt. I should be cooking tonight. Should be super duper warm. And since this is a Superfly, it's got doors, but I modded the doors after Adventure Allen's tutorial with little mitten hooks. Are those mitten hooks? No, those are side clip hooks. Side clip hooks, shame on me, that connect and unconnect. And shame on me, I'm an ultralighter and I left a little extra string there. So that's on both sides. I got another one over here. And now we're back on the other side of the hammock. So that was about 80-85% of my pack was just down, glorious down. On the outside, my tie-outs lead up to tarp worms, your 3 and 30-second shock cord, and then to my groundhog stakes. And right now, these are in permafrost, and I pounded them in with my hatchet. And probably going to put a log over this one anyway, because that one's a little bit less sturdy than some of these other ones. This one's not going anywhere. It's been pounded in nice. So, same thing, shock cord, etc. Makes for a pretty nice pitch. And this is actually the Sil Poly War Bonnet Superfly. Most of you guys probably have Sil Nylon out there. But this is Sil Poly. It's a little lighter. It's a teeny bit louder than Sil Nylon, but probably not as loud as Cuban. My Cuban tarp should be coming in the mail in the next week or so. So, we'll see. But there it is. The War Bonnet Blackbird. And hopefully a lot of comfort tonight on this 19-degree, or for you in Europe, probably around -10, closer to -8 night. So there's that. Now to get a fire going, maybe get some food going. I haven't even had lunch yet. A couple other things that I brought just for fun. This is a Leatherman CS. This is a Style CS. The reason for me bringing this is it has a knife. It's got a knife right here, but it also has scissors, and not a lot of things have scissors, and I probably need scissors more than anything out here. So that is my Style CS. Not to be confused with Style Siesta, which would be a nap. Which sounds pretty good too. Beef stew. Almost expired beef stew. Mountain House. Beef teriyaki with rice. Also almost expired. Gotta get these things gone before the end of March. And then beef stroganoff with noodles. Delicious. So I feel like beef's kind of a nightly meal, but they're all beef. Beef stew, beef stroganoff, beef noodles. Oh my god, what do I have? Beef, or beef? Beef, or beef. What's your beef? There's not a lot of wind out here, but there might be. Now, I just picked up this Fargo aluminum shield. I'm not sure if I'm going to like it or not. I don't know. It fits in the pot, which is amazing. Other than that, I don't know. Just another heat shield, I guess. On this bottle, I don't know if you guys can see that, there are little etches, and those little etches mark an ounce. So right now I've got it filled since it's upside down. I actually run this upside down, so I know when I've used an ounce, not from the bottom, but from the top. So right now I'm at 4. I'm just going to open it up, and I'm going to use about, 2/3 of an ounce. And that's how we do. This is the wood gas stove, I believe. This is the Fancy Feast. Alright, well, got lunch going. I had this pause. I had a deer kind of walk up on me there, and it's kind of cool. I didn't expect that. So what I got here is I actually have my pot cozy. This is something that I use when it's a little cooler out, even sometimes while it's warm, to just keep my food from getting cold while it's rehydrating. So got that at about 7 minutes before I can chow down. There goes my aluminum wind block. It ended up working up pretty well. Got about a constant 5 to 7 mile, maybe 8 mile an hour wind. I don't even know. I don't have a meter for that. But, I mean, overall, it worked. And that's what matters. So, I got my hot cocoa going. Set this over here. Finally bust into peanut butter cup number 2. With hot cocoa. Oh baby. See if I can find that deer. Yeah, that's good. It's quiet out here except for me talking. Bought it at REI before it came out. Worth it. And there she be. Pro Pack beef stroganoff for kind of a lunchy dinner, and I might get the other one going pretty soon. I'm kind of hungry. So here's a little something that you may or may not have heard of before. Z-Pac's Cuban Fiber food bag. And basically what I got here is I got a little mini beaner that comes on it. Just a little guy there. And then it's Cuban fiber. It's very light. And then it comes with 50 feet of Cuban or Dyneema line. And basically just throw the other end over a tree branch, and then string it up so the coons and the bears can't get it. Well, I'm all tucked in for the night. I've got my 2 quilts. I've actually got one here on top. And then I've got a second bag, a 32-degree bag. So I got 32 underneath. I got a 40 over. And overall, I'm pretty darn toasty. I made one little mistake in that I kind of forgot an extra pair of socks. So, sweaty feet go right in the sleeping bag, right on top of the pad, and hopefully they can dry out in the next hour and I won't have nasty feet in the morning. But that's about it. I think I'm going to call it a night. Saw some deer. Now I'm warm. I actually threw the underquilt protector on because I wasn't warm enough with just the quilt for some reason. Just part of my butt just wasn't quite warm. So, yeah, threw it on. Now I'm toasty. Think I might fall asleep. Coyotes going crazy. Well, got 11 and a half hours of sleep in. Coyotes woke me up a few times, but wow, that was good. Toasty warm. Let's take a look at the hammock here. Look at that. Got a nice orange tint coming in from the sunrise. Bought a little Lucy light a few weeks ago just to check out because it's got a red light setting. Red light does not detract from your night vision, so I figured it was worth a shot, and sure enough, it worked out pretty well. Yeah, there's bag number 1. That's the quilt right here. This is quilt. This is Mountain Hardwear 800 fill sleeping bag. And then, gosh, I even slept with my water in here so it wouldn't freeze. There it is. Oh, nice body temperature water. Just what I was hoping for this morning. Better than frozen water. Better than frozen water. So, there's the water. There's a happy me. Time to go get breakfast. So I put the doors down because I started getting a cross breeze in here last night. Actually from the north. There's that cross breeze right there. I think that's north because that's east. That's where the sun is. Started getting a little cross breeze and closed down the doors and it felt really nice. Kept my butt a little bit warmer. I also, before I'll go out and show you. Originally, my tarp was hooked up way up here, just below my straps for my hammock, and now it's way down here. I actually dropped my tarp quite a ways so that it was closer to the ground to keep that breeze out too. Well, overall, I was pretty impressed with my sleeping last night. The part that really surprised me was the foot pad, the REI sit pad, actually foot pad now, kept my feet really warm despite the fact that it was 21 degrees out. So yeah, I think I might try that again. It lodges nicely into the foot box. Let's see if we can take a look all the way down. Not a chance, too dark. So you might notice I'm pretty low to the snow. It's not really the ground. The ground's still about another 6 inches down, but I guess can you call that ground? I don't know if you can call that ground. Yeah, whatever. So I'm gonna go ahead and get my fuel. My fuel's in my bag, and then I'm gonna go ahead and just cook up some hot water quick. And I'm gonna do
something that I've never done before. Actually, two things I've never done before. I've never eaten in my hammock. Also never done breakfast from the hammock, but this is kind of a Shug tribute in a way before I actually get on with my regular day. Cross my fingers, hope it doesn't tip while it's heating. That would be bad, okay? It's pretty boring, isn't it? I call it relaxing. Listening to the birds. And the pot boiling. So here's something cool about this camera. You can't actually see the side of it, but I brought a little power supply, a little 10,000 milliamp, what's this, Anchor power port, whatever you want to call it. It's just got one plug in and one out, and or one input, one output, and I can just carry this around and I can charge my camera. And so if my camera gets low or whatever, and I can even record while it's charging. Side thought, I could probably do it with solar, but lithium-ion batteries, unless they are built with the boards, don't really like charging from the sun all that much. Says my brother, and my brother, he knows some stuff. He's read lots of forums on that. I have not, so I'm just going to kind of trust him on that one. But yeah, camera died, and now I'm back. Kind of awesome. My poles are holding up my tarp in porch mode. I didn't even have to move the stakes. I just lifted it up because of that shock cord that's on there, and was able to take care of that. There's my doors in here, stuck together as well. Because I didn't want to look into the sun. I just wanted to have a little extra fresh air coming in through here. How you doing, plane? Flame's still going, though. Oh boy, yeah, things are melting. Heat shield's working so well that it's starting to melt the snow under where it is. And this thing's getting tippy. So it looks like I'm just going to hold it. You guys don't need to watch that. So this is a concoction that I put together right here. This is a little bit of coffee, a little bit of hot chocolate, sugar, cinnamon, and a coffee creamer. So I've actually added my cozy to the outside of this to keep it a little bit warmer for longer. Also, I can set it on the ground and not have the heat transfer to the ground really from my drink. So that's nice, because I'm going to set it on the ground for a little bit. I'm going to have a Pop-Tart with my coffee while having breakfast in the hammock. Well, you know, my food bag was outside all night, and eating these Pop-Tarts is like eating a big frozen ice cube of maple and brown sugar. It's still really delicious. It's more like a snow cone than a Pop-Tart. Like I said, just a mix of coffee, cocoa, like hot cocoa, just like Swiss Miss packet, creamer, let's see what else, cinnamon, and sugar. And it is, well, I mean, it smells amazing. It tastes really good. I mean, it's almost like you're tricking yourself into drinking coffee, which will probably give me a pretty good bit of caffeine. I don't usually drink coffee or caffeine in general, but yeah, it's really good. Could I have it without the coffee? Sure, but why not? Why not? I've got now 2 mods on my tarp. I decided, I'll do it over here, to add loops for my pull-ups for my trekking poles, and it worked really well. They were actually pulling inward with the first mod that I did, so I brought some extra shock cord and I made those loops. And I've got these teeny little loops on both sides, other side of the hammock as well. And then I've got my pullouts this way as well, so I have the option of either going outward or not. The advantage to this method is it takes less shock cord overall. You don't have this line that has to go, basically you pull this out and then the pole goes anywhere on that line, maybe right at the Y, and then you pull it down and you stake it out. So you don't have to bring 2 extra stakes, which most of you guys are like, whoop-de-doo, but ultralight community, you're like, yeah, 2 extra stakes, man. That's like 12 grams on a good day. So, yeah, no, I'm totally cool with that. I'm fine with it either way. And it's got less cord, so actually, all in all, it probably saves me close to an ounce or 2 when I go with this method instead. So if I want to do the expander bars, and I'm going to be using a hammock, I'm probably going to do that and drop a couple ounces off of my pack weight. This is a Cuban sack that I got with the food bag over here, the Z-Packs food bag. Some of you guys that might have one out there are like, excuse me, aren't you supposed to have a throw sack with that? And the answer is yes, I do. But I went multi-purpose with it. See, they call it a rock sack. You just stick stuff in there and you throw it over a tree branch, not one close to your fire pit, but you throw it over a tree branch, and then that gives you the weight to pull it back down so you can get your rope tied off. But I instead put my underquilt protector in here, and then I'll just throw that over a tree branch, and then I'll bring it over to my hammock and put it on my hammock, and that'll be that. So that's my underquilt protector and my rock bag for my Z-Packs food bag. The pillow worked out pretty well. I don't know if I'm going to use it in warm weather, but in cold weather, it was pretty awesome. My stakes, I'm going to do something a little different with my stakes. I actually lost a couple of these somewhere, maybe at home, maybe not. I don't know, the little shock cord things. So I am going to keep them on the stakes now, since if I ever tent camp, my Pro Trail uses that anyway, needs the shock cord. And I'm going to use little bands of shock cord because it keeps the tarp taut. It doesn't allow it to kind of sag throughout the night, because sometimes your line can do that, sometimes the material stretches.
Okay, so this is how I stuff my sack. My rucksack, you might call it.
So breakfast this morning, I've already had my Pop-Tart from the hammock, but it is banana nut oatmeal from Quaker. And I wonder if it even tells me how much water to put in. It says 3/4 fill line on this packet. Nice. Okay. But, I like to cook my water first. It says empty packet into microwave safe bowl. It's not going in a microwave. Then add 3/4 of water, milk, whatever, stir well. Microwave on high, 60 to 75 seconds. Stir, let stand. So, I have to make up my own rules. Now, you might be wondering, how the heck did you keep that water warm all night? How do you didn't have to go anywhere to get water this morning? Well, I didn't. I could have snuck that past you and just not recorded that part, but I actually slept with my water all night, so I could have a little coffee in the morning or with a little hot chocolate. I actually prefer the chocolate, and then I wouldn't have to walk all the way to the well. Ooh, a little much. There we go. Do not like runny oatmeal. Not good. No, I don't like it at all. I hate it. It reminds me of mush. I mean, not that oatmeal don't anyway, but woo, and out. All right. A true test of the Vargo aluminum windshield. Did I say it's beautiful out here? I just wanted to say that. It's nice. It's windy. It's about 20 25, 26 degrees now. Most of you guys wouldn't think it's very nice, but it is. There's my neighbors camping in over at campsite 18, Matt and Mike. Really nice guys. One guy is working on his Eagle Scout, the other one's dad. And they probably heard me down here, and they might think I'm crazy, but you know what, teach their own. Yeah, really nice guys. They came over and they checked out the Cuban pack. I told them, you know, they're just like, hey, you know what was your gear load? And I told them it was about 12 pounds, and they're like, can we come see it? So, yeah, we hung out for a little bit. They brought their steaks so the coons wouldn't get it. There's lots of raccoons out here, and there's no bears, but the raccoons more than make up for it. I guess they're really aggressive. So, fun times out here at Afton, though. I didn't see any. There were lots of coyotes howling last night. That was cool. They howled about 3-4 times. But when you're getting 11.5 hours of sleep and they're waking you up, it's not a big deal. So here's a fun bit of science for you. I'll put that over there. So some of you guys probably wonder if you're alcohol stovers or even if you're just regular gas stovers, you end up with a little bit of water condensation out on the outside of your pot whenever you are cooking. And you know, there's some people don't care, some people don't notice, some people see it and they're like, wow, gosh, what is that? Is that my, like, alcohol evaporating and condensing on my pot? And it's like, no, that appears when gas is there too. The gas doesn't condense. So, I mean, what is it? And the answer is, it's water. Whenever you combust any hydrocarbon with oxygen, so you're talking like, you know, methane, propane, isobutane, methanol, you name it, the byproducts of the burning or combusting of that stuff is carbon dioxide and water, and that's just a standard. Doesn't matter what it is. It could be octane, the gasoline in your car. And so the water's coming out, and that's why you see that water dripping out of your tailpipe. Same idea. It's just condensing on the side of the pot till the pot gets hot enough to make it so it isn't there anymore. And as you can see, it's disappearing as I say it. Thank you, convenience. That means my water in my pot's getting warm enough where it can't condense anymore. So just a little cool sciencey fact for you there that I figured you might like. Just so you guys are aware of what I'm wearing here, I've got a Patagonia down jacket. It's just a light jacket. It's good maybe down to like 40 or 30, and then I've got extra layers underneath that. I've actually got an REI packable down jacket that I'm wearing underneath it for camp. I'll probably take it off when I start hiking because it's going to get warm fast. And then I kept the camera in here in this pocket all night, so it was underneath a layer and it stayed warm. I didn't have to worry about the battery dying. And I kept my phone, which is still here, in an outer pocket. Underneath this, I've got fleece. I've got a black fleece, just a light fleece. I like to dress in layers. I don't like to get too crazy with it. Underneath that, I've got a long sleeve merino wool shirt and then a short sleeve merino wool shirt. And holy cow, when you take those off, it gets cold fast. So I'm not gonna actually take anything off. I don't think you guys want to see that. I don't want to see it. That's my top. As far as my bottoms go, there isn't a lot going on here, and I'm really not going to disrobe for you guys, but I've got a Nike insulated pant, and then I've got a gray fleece pant underneath that. Not sure if you can see that. And that kept me warm all night. And then underneath that, I've got boxers on, ex officio boxer briefs, and I ain't showing you that. That's my clothes. I also brought some gloves. I picked these up at Gander Mountain just before they closed. Ice Armor gloves. They are crazy, crazy warm, even in cold weather, so I brought those. And then I've got a balaclava on. And then I brought a down hat, but I never actually wore it. I just stuck with this North Face hat that my mother-in-law bought me, and then balaclava for when I'm in camp and sleeping. Oh, that feels good. And just the hat for hiking. You're still on, aren't you? Yeah, you are. So, first impressions of the Appalachian Ultralight through hiker.
There she be. Pretty impressed. I mean, it's got the space for an overnight or winter trip. I probably could have done 2 nights pretty easily because it's just extra food and fuel at that point. I also used a lot of fuel. Usually I just bring snacks and whatnot, but a few hot meals just sounded too good. Plus I had to get rid of them. They were going to expire. Not that they really do. I don't know. Mountain house meals, I mean, stored at temp, room temp, under stable conditions. I mean, they might outlast their date, but I'm not going to be the person to tell you that. So, yeah, I'm pretty impressed with this pack so far. I mean, it's got 45 liters in the compartment, but then it's got, you know, the mesh pocket that I hope you just saw there. It's got the shock cord underneath, and you can carry a lot more than 45 liters, I'll just tell you that much. Just nice having options as far as, you know, putting things out to dry or whatever. If it would have rained last night, I'd probably have my tarp hanging from there. Ain't gonna rain. Who am I kidding? It's not even gonna snow. Here's a cool something that you might not know about Afton. They've switched over their pumps. Their pump is over here. Okay, they've got a spigot, and then down below the ground there's a pump way down there, and it's an electric pump, and it runs off of that power box, which is charged by that solar panel. So rather than having hand pumps now, they've got electric pumps that run off of electricity generated only from the sun. So it's a completely isolated unit. It's pretty sweet. You might see sled tracks on the trail, and I was trying to figure out what in the world somebody would be doing sledding up here. Turns out that Mike and, I think it was Mike and Matt, sorry guys if I'm butchering your names, but they read online about people who've come to Afton and they don't like carrying their firewood from the place where you chop it. They've actually got saws and horses and everything there for you to cut your own firewood, which is kind of cool, but you gotta haul it still, you gotta carry it. So they brought a sled, and they put their firewood, and then they put their water on there when they got their water, and they just pulled it all the way back to their campsite, which is quite a ways away, and shoot, they had it a lot easier than I did. Well, hello kids.
Just sitting there in the meadow.
Yeah, there's 6 of them. I'll be darned. Let's zoom in on your face. Hey guys. Let's see if you got fleas.
Zoom in this little camera too.
I know. It's awesome. Whole family.
Hanging out in the middle. Very nice on the trail.
How would Shook say this? Oh, them people got me a bit nervous. Just sitting up there on the trail looking at me.
Looking at me funny.
Yeah. Give me a funny look.
You're up sector 7 here.
Yeah. I don't like that much. Yeah, having a staring contest. Well, how about you guys?
Babies.
Looks like Mama's right there in front, hiding out.
Yep.
There's all the kids. That is quite the, what do you call that, a litter?
Yeah, I don't know what they call it. Hey guys. You see her stop for a minute?
Yep. She's nervous. We got to do a wraparound too. We got to go back to the right, so they're going to get nervous and probably bolt. Well,
let's see what they do. There she's stomping. She's not very happy. She's got all their attention.